Start webinar. Cool. Go live.
We've just started the webinar. If anybody has just joined us, welcome. So we're going to start at past. So we're going to be doing some meditation. So grabbing whatever you need, maybe a blanket, some cushions. You might want to lie down or sit up. However, which way is fine. Maybe checking in on how you're feeling this morning. Maybe if you're feeling a bit tired, then maybe sitting up might be a good idea. If you're feeling quite energized, then maybe you could lie down. Might be a risk of falling back to sleep though, so just be careful. Good morning. Nice to see people arriving. Hi. And we just started streaming live on Facebook. So welcome to anybody that's on Facebook who's joining us. Good to see you all. Yeah, I was just saying to Cara, it's quite a week this week, I guess, for most of you, going back into classes and meeting people and practicing potentially, I guess, with other people rather than on your own, which is wonderful. So yeah, I'm very happy for you, because I imagine that's been quite a particular time actually to try and hold that space and just wait. Yeah, having a lot of patience. So yeah, it's good news. We will start in a couple of minutes. So yeah, just grabbing anything that you need. We'll start as always, just with a very kind of short talk on what is mindfulness, and I'll introduce the theme of the day. And then we'll do a practice. So yeah, just getting anything that you might need. So welcome to anyone that's just arrived. We'll be starting in a few minutes. So hello to anybody who's just arrived now. This is our third week of mindfulness for motivation on the Monday morning, all the M's. So we'll be concluding with our last week next Monday morning, just for the Easter break. Yeah, so I hope if you've come to the past couple that you've got something from it and you've been able to maybe put some of the mindfulness practices into use in the week. And if not, you never know. Sometimes doing these practices, they might not come into their own, maybe for a little while, and you might remember, oh, actually, there was something when I did some meditation that actually was helpful. So it might be something you might explore later on. But anyway, so it's good to give these things a go. It's all about learning by experience. Okay, so just another minute. Just wait for anybody else that's going to join us. So welcome to people on Facebook and on the webinar. So just do this waiting for the countdown now. Okay, it's 8:30. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. So yes, welcome. As we said, that this is the third week in a four-week series on mindfulness for motivation. And obviously, it's probably, well, it probably is a very big week for all of you this week, with the opportunity of going back into classes and practicing together. So yeah, I just wanted to say that's great, and I really want to celebrate that with you, because I think it's such a momentous occasion. So yeah, I hope you have a good week. So my name is Claire, and I've been leading these sessions, like I said, for the past few weeks. So we've got the last session next Monday. So I'm just going to do a very quick recap of what we've done so far, and then we'll go into a meditation practice. So you might want to just grab some cushions or some blankets, whatever you need. It might be you're just okay sat on a chair, you don't need anything, that's fine. So we started on week 1 looking at what is mindfulness. So just to recap, so mindfulness is bringing awareness to the present moment experience just as it is, without judgment. So the key words there are awareness, and non-judgment, and just as they are. So we're bringing awareness to what's happening in our experience without judging it. So for example, if I was bringing mindfulness into my present moment experience, I'd come into the body. I'd notice I was sat down, I'd notice the body's making contact with what I'm sat on. So that's the first thing I'd notice. That I'd probably notice, how do I feel in this moment, checking in on emotions, the physical senses. And feeling a bit tired this morning, actually. I'm feeling quite elevated as well to be with you all here. And then I'd be checking in what's in my mind as well. So my mind at the moment, it feels a bit dull. It's not very racy. There's not much going on. But other times there might be a lot of stuff going on. So mindfulness brings us into the moment of awareness, because 45% of the time we are not aware. We're stuck in our heads. And when we're stuck in our heads, that's where we experience a lot of stress and anxiety. So mindfulness is really great to taking us out of the head into what else is going on in my experience. So we're training ourselves, we're training the brain to come out of this stuck mode of being in the head to whatever else is happening in the body and in the emotions. And when we're training ourselves, we're developing more focus and more concentration, which as musicians, obviously is very key. So we're exercising that muscle, if you like, for concentration and focus. So in the first practice, we did a breath-based practice in the first week, where we used the breath as an anchor to help us come into the present moment. And then I was encouraging you, if you were up for it, to try in the first week, noticing when your mind wandered, maybe when you're practicing, and bringing it back to the breath. Again, this training the brain, training the mind, that we don't have to get carried away in thoughts. We can come back to the breath as the anchor. And in the breath, in the body, we find more stillness, more peace, more calm. So we can really use the breath as a tool. Then the second week, we looked at the 8 foundations of mindfulness, which are attitudes around mindfulness. So these are not just attitudes for meditation either, these are attitudes for life. For things like patience, having patience in mindfulness meditation practice. It isn't a quick win. We have to put in effort around mindfulness meditation to feel the benefits. We need to trust in the practice as well. We need to just be open to giving it a go. And also really key is non-striving, which is really key for meditation mindfulness. We quite often, as humans, we're very good at striving. We want to get somewhere all the time. Mindfulness asks us just to be with what is in the moment. So there's a bit of a paradox with mindfulness, in that when we feel like we're going somewhere, we want to go towards it. So for example, if we're in A and A is feeling a bit stressed or anxious or lacking in motivation, and we want to get to B, and B is more energy, more contentment, more happiness, the natural thing would be that we go from A to B and we travel that way. But actually what mindfulness meditation asks is that we stay in A, we stay in this lack of motivation, we stay in this stress or anxious state, and let B, the sense of happiness or energy, come to us. So we have to be in it. We're not striving. We're not going out there to attain anything. We're trying to be with what's here now and let things naturally unfold. And that takes practice, and it happens. It works. There's so much evidence to support this, that this works. So even if if we're in meditation, we feel we're stuck in the head, being with it, how can we be with that? How can we be with those difficult experiences and trusting, having patience that those will change? So it's a really key bit of mindfulness to really understand. We're not striving. So one of the foundations of mindfulness we looked at was beginner's mind, which as musicians, I imagine is, something we can forget at times, and even as adults, we forget beginner's mind. So beginner's mind is having the curiosity of a child. What is it like to open up to the world as if you're seeing things or experiencing things for the first time? So within that unlocks aspects of joy and happiness, because experiencing things for the first times comes from an emotional sense, a physical sense, rather than the head, So you might think, well, I know what a tree is, I know what a guitar is, I know what a piano is, but actually, can we open up? Do I really? Can I open up to curiosity? As if I'm learning to play for the first time. I'm learning to sing and use my voice for the first time. What would that be like? So we looked into this beginner's mind in what we call the body scan meditation. So scanning through the body, what can we notice in the body as if we're being curious for the first time to these sensations? And then for the week ahead, I encourage you just to see if you could explore that when you're actually in rehearsal, when you're practicing. What's it like to notice your body engaging with your instrument or engaging while you're singing? What is it like? Can we notice that with more curiosity? And then this week, we're bringing in what we call the negativity bias. So this is something that that can hinder us quite a lot, not just in mindfulness meditation practice, but in everyday life. So we are all programmed for negativity, all of us. So even if we think we're a positive thinker, we still will be hindered by the negativity bias. And it's normal. We're all programmed for negativity because it's part of our fight, flight, and freeze. It's part of our survival mechanism. So for example, if you get 10 pieces of feedback, so 10 pieces of feedback from your tutor, 9 of them are like fantastic, really, really good, really positive bits of feedback. And then 1 of them isn't so good, maybe a bit of negativity in there. What are you going to focus on? That one. We focus on the negative, and we all do it. And that's because there's something within the negative that feels like a risk. Even if it's not, the mind will latch onto that. So what we're trying to do in meditation mindfulness is notice the good. We're trying to address the balance because there's so much good in our experience. That really helps with motivation as well. When we're so programmed in negativity, it can drain us, it can drain our energy. So if we're lacking in motivation, we need to try and find what's good in our experience. So there's a neuroscientist called Rick Hanson who talks about negativity is like Velcro. It just sticks like straight away. Something negative happens, it's straight away, it's there. Positivity is like Teflon. It's like slides off. It doesn't even touch us, So we need, when we experience something positive, we need to be with it a little bit longer. We need to put in effort, around 10 to 30 seconds longer. So that's what we call letting in the good. So the more we let in the good, the more we can address the balance of the negativity. So when you're learning a piece, when you're with your instrument, you're singing, really noticing what is good in this moment. We can get so locked onto the critical mind of what's bad. When we make a mistake, we're so down on ourselves, we get distracted, we're down, but what's good? So we're going to do a practice based on that. Okay. So that'll be about, let's have a look, about 15, maybe a little bit longer minutes. We will stop just before 9. Now, I know some of you will be doing, I guess, online lectures still, but some of you will be going to lectures later. I know it's a bit of a mix now, but anyway, we will be stopping just before 9 to just give you that period of transition. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's do some meditation. So if you want to get yourself in a comfortable position, so closing your eyes if you're happy to do so, or if you're going to have your eyes open, very soft gaze, try not to look at the screen because that can be a bit distracting. So just finding a posture where it feels like you've got a nice straight spine and your head is balanced on your shoulders, on your neck, and the body is at ease. So just noticing if there's any holding on in the body. The body will naturally want to hold on, that's okay. But we can see if bringing awareness to the body can just ease those areas of tension. So maybe starting at the top of the head, around the forehead. Can we ease any holding on or tension there? Maybe having a sense of the forehead is wider, longer, more expansive than it actually is. So a bigger area to experience the forehead. Going down into the eyes, just allowing the eyes to be soft. We don't need to use the eyes at the moment. Coming down into the face, into the jaw, the cheeks. Just see how holding on around the teeth at all. You allow the jaw to be soft. Moving down through the back of the head. Down to the neck. Again, just checking on the head. Is the head balanced? Maybe rocking the head from side to side. Very small movements from side to side. And then back and forth, very small movements. Just see if we can find this natural point of balance of the head. You might need to tuck the chin in a little bit, maybe. That feels okay. Then moving down through the neck to the shoulders, allowing the shoulders just to drop down. Be at ease. Moving down through the arms, allowing the arms just to rest. And the hands to be soft, soft fingers, soft palms. Quite often we can hold on in the hands, this sense of holding something. Can we just let the hands go? Let the hands be open. And moving through the back of the body. Just traveling down, just easing into the posture, easing into the back as we move down. And then bringing awareness to the front of the body. Easing any tension there. Moving down to the belly, having a soft belly. Then into a seated position, the buttocks and the thighs. Another area we hold on. We're kind of having that sense of we don't trust. We can just let go in our weight. What do you feel like? Just to trust that what we're sat on can take our weight. I'll be surprised how much we hold on. Moving down through the lower legs, down into the feet. Maybe imagining the earth coming up to meet your feet. So even if you're a couple of stories above the ground, just using the imagination of this solid earth below. And then becoming aware of the whole of the body sat here. Just see if there's any other areas of tension we can just bring awareness to. And the body will naturally contract again. It will hold on again. Our bodies are very used to doing that. But when we have a body that's at ease, there's more space for awareness. And when the body's at ease, the mind's more likely to be at ease as well. So just checking in, where is the mind at the moment? Has it wandered off into storytelling? And if it has, that's completely natural. It's okay, that's what the mind does. So just bring our awareness back into the body. And we're going to focus our attention now on the breath. So we use the breath as the anchor to help us to be in the present moment, to cultivate awareness, concentration and focus. But we try and do this with a light touch. We try not to strive, we try not to grasp at the breath. We let the breath do what it always does naturally, which is breathe. So all we're trying to do is just be with the breath as it unfolds. So the breath comes in, the breath comes out. So just as best we can, being with the breath. Now it can be helpful to aid the focus to put the hand on the chest and the belly, if you like, so you can feel the breath. Sometimes we can get a bit too heady. We go in the head thinking about the breath. And instead, we're just trying to feel it. What does it feel like, the breath? So just as best we can, being with the breath. Now, what is the quality of the breath like? Maybe you notice some breaths are quite long. Maybe some breaths are quite short. So just open up to that curiosity, that beginner's mind. What's it like to notice the breath as if for the first time? Each breath is completely unique. And can we find some pleasant sensations in the breath? Or anywhere in the body, open up to the pleasant. What is pleasant in our experience? Just trying to counteract this negativity bias, which we're all programmed towards. Maybe it's just a sense of a bit more stillness, maybe, or a bit more calm, or the fact that you've paused, you've stopped. Maybe that feels pleasant. And that's enough. It's really being with that, noticing that. Watching the mind. The mind has wandered. That's okay. Bring it back. Bring it back to the breath. And then we're going to expand on this exploration of pleasant sensations. So you can place your hands in your lap if you've got them on your body, or you can keep one hand on, maybe on both hands on your belly if you like, if that feels okay. It's quite nice. We're going to expand on this pleasant experience, trying to counteract, balancing out the negativity bias. So I'd like you to bring to mind a time when you experienced something pleasant. So it might have been, maybe you've gone out for a walk, maybe you've been in nature, maybe you've, this might be a while ago, it doesn't have to be recent. But sometime when there's been really strong, pleasant feelings, maybe there's been a beautiful view, maybe a sunset, maybe you had a great conversation with somebody. There's an opportunity, a time when you've come into contact with something pleasant. Maybe you've been on holiday somewhere. Maybe you've done an amazing performance you've been really happy with. You might have had lots of these experiences, but for this practice, just trying to focus on one. And I'd like you to bring this to mind as best you can. Now, you don't need to have lots of detail because it's a felt sensation. So I want you to just try to be with this experience in its entirety. So what I mean by that is, what did it feel like? This experience, what does it feel like? What is the emotions there? So maybe there's a sense of joy, happiness. Maybe a sense of connection, freedom, maybe beauty. What does it feel like in the body? Maybe a sense of calm, excitement, warmth. So really exploring this. It's as if we're experiencing this thing again, but we're making it bigger. We're expanding it to the whole of the body. So what we're trying to do is map it to our emotional memory. As I said before, it takes a little bit longer for positive experience to stick like Velcro to us. So what does it feel like in the body, in the emotions? What's going on for us when we're encountering this pleasant experience? And try not to go in the head. It's quite easy to try and work it out, the detail, coming into the body. Enjoying it, enjoying, remembering, bringing back into awareness this pleasant experience. And you may even like to have a smile on your face. Something about having a smile that can connect a little bit deeper. Even if you're feeling a bit silly, just give it a go. Notice what happens. Again, enjoying this process, letting in the good. And if the mind wanders off to something else in the past or the future, maybe there's a acknowledgement this session is ending soon. Just acknowledge the mind has wandered, and for the next few moments, as best you can, just being in the body, in the sensations, in the emotions, in the felt sense. And these feelings might be really, really subtle, and that's okay. We're not looking for big expansions of joy or happiness. That's not what it's about. Although you might feel that, but it's not about that. It's the intention that matters. This intention to be with the pleasant. And then letting it go. So just being here now with the body, with the breath, and just noticing how you feel now. See if there's any changes that's happened, any shift in how you feel. You might like to take a moment now, maybe to make an intention for the rest of the week. So how can we let in the good for the rest of the week? Maybe making a promise to yourself that you'll notice one or two things each day. Noticing when we're locked in negativity, when we get stuck in this place. How can we let in the good? Really simple things. Connecting into how we feel. That's an indicator, generally, of when we're letting in the good. Just see if we can allow ourselves that opportunity each day to really be with that in its entirety, so it sticks to our emotional memory. And then we're going to extend the awareness now to the space that you're in, the room that you're in, expanding the awareness beyond the body. And noticing the points of contact the body's making with what you're sat on. Noticing the contact the feet are making with the ground, or if you're sat on the bed or the chair. And then wiggling your fingers and your toes just to get some movement back in the body. And then slowly opening your eyes as we close the practice. So it is 3 minutes to the hour now for those of you who need to go. So thank you for joining us for this session. I hope you can bring awareness to letting in the good, counteracting this negativity bias, and just becoming aware of that as well. Those little opportunities, because they do exist, they are there, but quite often we're just so with the negative we can miss them. So I'm wishing you a good week. Exciting week, I can imagine, for a lot of you as well, coming back together again. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. And hopefully see you next week for the last session. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Go well, stay safe. So it's nearly 9. Yeah. Nice to be with you all. Have a good week. Take care. Thanks, Cara.